A little stand there. Gosh, it's not as hot as it was last time, but I met some people that traveled around to go to the different events that were from down here, or from, I don't know if it was right here or what. Fake news. Kind of annoys me. Made it all the way out here. I met you in
okay.
Yeah, and where was it? Illinois?
Oh, down there in what was the name of that place? Where when Trump said, "Okay, folks, it's starting to lightning," and then the cloud burst.
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody got soaked to the bone.
Yeah.
You remember that if you were to the Illinois.
Well, no, because I was at one with you. You were setting up the tents, and then they came and said vendors couldn't be inside, and so I think it was Iowa. There's someplace in Iowa. I don't remember. But so I ended up leaving. I drove back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I have the coffee company. Because it was you and then me and then a kettle corn company that was out there that day.
I forgot.
Yeah.
You're remembering good stuff, and I'm not remembering good.
No worries.
So you think it was somewhere in Iowa? I just don't remember doing it in Iowa. I did Casper, Wyoming. There in.
It was right on the corner. The three.
Prescott, Arizona. Oh yeah, well, Illinois.
Yeah.
Right there at the corner with Iowa.
Yeah.
Keokuk.
Yeah.
Keokuk.
Something like that.
We had to go to Keokuk to get a motel.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was trying to find a campground and the local people, the kettle corn people.
That's the rally that the cloud burst.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. It was amazing because all the vendors, everybody was in the rally, and all of a sudden these clouds came in.
Yeah.
And then this fog came along, and then there was thunder and lightning, and Trump got up and he said, "Okay, folks, it's starting to lightning. Goodbye." And that was it.
Yeah.
And then people started pouring out, and within 5 minutes, or no, not even that long, maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like there was a cloud. This fog came through, and it just dumped.
Yeah.
Everybody got soaked.
So have you been going? You go to all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last weekend was Youngstown.
Yeah, we were there.
Weekend before was Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah, we were with J.R. Majewski in Youngstown last week. We were giving away free coffee.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that was such a horrible rally to go to. It was so crowded and beat up, and I've never seen such a messed up place to have.
You mean on the outside, just because of the construction?
Yeah, we weren't inside.
Right.
So were you inside?
Yeah, I was set up with the campaign.
Okay.
Yeah, so because the J.R. Majewski campaign let me actually just set up right next to him because we weren't selling anything. We were just giving away free coffee, and then we took out the camera on the second half and just started going around and doing interviews and stuff.
Well, let me tell you what happened after the thing all dismissed, because I was outside with all these crowds.
Your audio may be broadcast. That's fine. I don't have it on you, but your audio.
Okay. Well, I don't care. But what happened at the Youngstown rally is there was one main road, Walnut Street, that came right by the rally.
Yeah.
It was under construction, and they had barriers on both sides of the street. On the one side where the center was at, they had barriers, and so people were coming out even before they were done with the rally.
Right.
And they would come across Walnut Street and walk up the sidewalks to go downtown where the parking was at.
Right.
It was all parking garages.
Right.
So that did fine until the motorcade came to leave with Trump. They blocked off all the foot traffic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the people coming out of the venue poured out into the acres in front there.
Right.
And
they had nowhere to go.
Then after the motorcade went through, then people just tore down all the barricades and they just flooded down the streets. It was every man for himself. It was chaos.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to give away any of our, well, we gave away some books, but it was just, we were totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, because you have the great controversy, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you, and you guys sell stuff as well?
No, no,
Or you're
no.
just watching this for someone?
I'm standing here because this lady hadn't been able to go to the Porta-John all day long.
Gotcha.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just stood here. I was talking to her anyway. Nice lady. Kim's her name.
So is the book yours? The Great Controversy?
No, it's not. It was written 148 years ago.
Oh, really?
All right. It's not about politics.
Yeah.
It's the history of Christianity from the time of the apostles when they died until our current day.
Yeah.
Christianity. And Christianity's gone through all kinds of revolutions. For 1,200 years, there was an entity that slaughtered 50 million people.
Yeah.
50 million people because they would not believe what that denomination taught.
Yeah.
So,
and you go to all the Trump rallies, don't you?
yeah, we go to all the Trump rallies.
Yeah.
This is number 15 for us.
15
Yeah.
in this season. So did
We
you go
started-
before or 15 total?
15 total.
Gotcha.
Well, this is our 15th total one that we've gone to. We did not go to Alaska because Trump announced 4 days before Anchorage, Alaska. We couldn't get our books up there. UPS and FedEx couldn't guarantee they would get them up there. So we did not go to Anchorage, Alaska. Other than that, we've gone to all the rallies ever since Florence, South Carolina, March 12th.
Yeah.
That was our first rally. It was
so that was this year.
That was this year.
Gotcha.
March 12th. There's been other rallies before that.
Yeah, because we went to Conroe, Texas. We were down there.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that was last year. I think maybe.
May have been
and then
before
Des Moines, Iowa. That was one.
Okay.
I think that was last year too.
Yeah,
Because I think that's the first rally that we went to just as, with our coffee brand. So because we started last year.
Yeah. We have a man who has given away this book, Great Controversy, all over the world.
Yeah.
And including in Egypt and over in Russia, millions of copies.
Now, is there a place to get it online? If my viewers want to get
just
it?
Google it. You
Just
Google
Google
it,
The
you'll find
Great
it.
Controversy?
And you can Google it where they read it to you.
Yeah.
Or you can get it in print.
Oh, wow.
You can download a PDF.
Yeah.
The whole thing. But if you want a hard copy that you can take home and yellow highlight.
I actually have one.
It's
You gave me
free.
one last time. Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah,
And
you
if
get.
you want one to share with some of your friends.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, be sure and read chapter 35 first.
Chapter 35.
That's amazing to say.
Yeah.
But you do 35 first, you'll have your eyes opened up and you won't believe it.
Yeah.
What's said in there about what is going to be happening here in this country, because it's happening right now.
Right.
But if you don't believe what you're reading in chapter 35, ready to throw the book in the trash, then go back and read the first half of the book, which is nothing but history. And you'll be a believer. You'll understand there are forces out there to take away our convictions for freedom of conscience,
Right.
our liberties.
There was someone that I met at Freedom Fest a couple of weeks ago. That was Eric Dieters. He's running for governor in Kentucky. But he held his own rally there, and Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump and a bunch of other, Kimberly Guilfoyle, they all spoke there. And I met an author that wrote a book, and I said, God, he's going to be mad if he watches this, because I forgot what it was called. But it had a lot to do with religion and following the Bible and related to Donald Trump and just things that have happened to him. And I'll be honest, I didn't read the book yet, but, so I don't know where they make the connection, but just said a lot of the things that are apparently not forecasted or whatever in the Bible that they
It's
can.
called prophesied.
Yeah.
Revelation 13. Revelation 13 talks about a lamb-like beast coming up.
Yeah.
This lamb-like beast has 2 horns. This lamb-like beast then begins to speak as a dragon.
Yeah.
The lamb-like beast that came up right after the papacy. The deadly wound was given to the papacy in 1798.
Okay.
This country came up, and it was a bastion of freedom for those people fleeing out of European persecution. So the Bible prophesies that this lamb-like beast, the bastion of freedom, liberty of conscience, will speak as a dragon. And we're seeing that happening right now.
Right.
Right now, in our country, it's coming in like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
So get out your Bibles, read Revelation 13. Find a good book like Great Controversy, and it helps you go right through the whole thing. It's full of Bible text.
Yeah, I think we brought that in. I think one of my kids brought it in from the RV right away, and I think it's sitting on our coffee table in our living room still.
Take it down sometime when you have.
Yeah.
They're short chapters.
I just work incessantly. Like I left Virginia this morning at 6 a.m. to get down here, and I'm driving back tonight and then working all weekend.
Well, since March 12, I've read through the book one complete time.
Yeah.
And what I do is when I go to the motel, I do a devotion.
Yeah.
I do a devotion in the morning, so I'll read a chapter in the morning. They're short. Some of them are a little longer. Chapter 35 is like maybe twice as long as the normal chapter.
Yeah.
But it is such a bombshell, you won't believe it.
How many times would you say you've read it?
Oh, 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it's been something that's part of me for all. I've read portions at different times.
Right.
But then I've read it through at different times.
Gotcha.
Just straight through. But it's a fascinating book, but it's hard to believe. This is an inspired book.
Right.
Because it was written by a woman with a 3rd grade education.
Really?
You read it, it's got words in it that like I have to look them up. So,
and that's a great controversy. I zoomed in on it right there. So
there you go. So the books are in transit. The devil has tried to keep us from getting them. They were due to be in yesterday morning in Wilmington. We would bring them over here, set them up. They didn't. Were supposed to come in last night. They didn't get in yellow freight to Wilmington. They were in Charlotte. Then they finally made them down at midnight sometime last night.
Yeah.
And then when we go down to pick up the books, there's nobody there at the freight terminal.
Right. You're doing well call.
The 2 drivers that work there are gone. Yeah. They're out delivering books.
Gotcha.
Or delivering the products, whatever. So they just got on the road. So our U-Haul van, when you see our U-Haul van show up over here, they'll probably set right over there, and we'll hand truck them over here. We'll have piles and piles of white cases of Great Controversies right there.
Very cool.
You got to get your copy. Don't take it into the rally because they'll take it away from you.
Right.
You can't take a book in
right.
or an umbrella for that matter either. But when you come out, we'll have volunteers spread out down through here every 50 feet or so.
Nice.
And they'll say free book, get your free book, freedom, liberty, conscience, whatever it may be. And if you don't take it the first one, then somebody's going to hound you on down the way and hound you. And finally, the Holy Spirit will break through.
Yeah.
And they'll come back and say, I decided I wanted one of those.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
Well, what was your name again?
I'm Don Reed.
Don, nice to meet you.
I'm from Tazewell,
nice to meet you
Tennessee.
again. Yeah, I remember.
Free, home of the brave.
I remember, when I walked by earlier, I was like, I want to stop and to say it because you were super nice that day, even though we didn't stay. But you were super nice. But you were trying to set up the tents, and then they came and said that because I think at that place all the vendors had lined up downtown at a Walmart because they didn't allow any vendors inside. Yeah. Except the local approved, and you guys were one of those because you're approved at all of them.
See, we have to register for every rally.
Yeah.
We all have to go through scrutiny.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that at all. We're part of a group that's got the most important man in the world here.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not deifying this particular person because he's not deity.
Right.
But there's so many people that are depending on this man to represent the virtues that we hold so dear. This country can't be blessed. God can't bless this country unless it honors him.
That's true.
So anyway.
Well, it's nice meeting you.
Come back again.
All right.
Get our books.
All right, we'll do.
Just curious, what's the name of your blog or whatever?
So I own Citizen Stringer. So it's
Citizen
Citizen Stringer. So it's an independent, so it's a news website. You can find it online just by Googling it. Or I host a show called The Rational American and another one called Wake Up America. So
I have a very small audience, but my video, it's called the Blue Collar Conservative. I'm on Rumble, Truth, Facebook, Water.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we go out to all the platforms we have to. But how
Citizen Stringer.
Citizen Stringer, yeah, you can look it up.
And give it a
Are you a vendor here?
No, I'm an attendee. I'm in with the VIPs. I'm going to be getting to meet Trump a little while.
Are you?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've made since the primaries.
Do you mind being on camera? All that?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I made
So
19,000 phone calls for candidates for Russell Fry, Tim Scott, and now I'm making calls for the Republican Party during the general election.
Gotcha. So you're from here in North Carolina?
I'm from Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. Drove up here. Pretty awesome.
It is. How many events have you been to?
This is my third.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so I went to two up in Pennsylvania, the crowd's just so different down here. People are just so much nicer down here. I'm glad I moved down here.
I say every rally I go to, it's different. You get a weird feeling because you're around so many like-minded people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't even need to really just get into politics. Just seeing all the American flags and seeing how happy people are to be here is what. It's one of the things, like I like to come a lot of times, like my viewers got mad because I don't like interviewing people.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of it. Like when I do my shows, I just talk for an hour or 2 hours. And
that's what I do.
Yeah, and they're like, no, you got to start interviewing people and find out all the people that have they feel the same way.
Yeah.
And it's true. Have you been following local news, or not local news, but news about different Trump endorsements?
Yes, about it. Well,
J.R. Majewski. Have you heard about what's going on with that with him?
First of all, I'm going to tell you that whole thing there is a crock of shit. Pardon my language.
No, you're fine.
Because if you know anything about the military,
right?
All right, this guy was a loadmaster in the United States Air Force.
Right.
Stationed in Qatar.
Right.
All right, that's where he was stationed, but he was going on planes. He's in Doha, Qatar, to Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan.
And many other bases. Because
he
he actually held a press conference today where he kind of clarified a lot of that. But I mean, there's still a lot he can't say, but the way the AP strategically put it out or released it yesterday, a day before veteran active duty and their absentee ballots go out today.
Yeah.
So he made that connection today. What are you military? Prior military?
I'm from a military family, but I took a different path. I was a cop.
Oh, were you? Okay. Yeah, my family's military.
Yeah.
And so I had
I'm from a Navy.
Yeah, mine are Army and the Marine Corps and all that. But I was talking to someone this morning about this whole thing, and I broke it down, and I already told my viewers this, but I broke it down in a way without saying he's a congressional candidate, nothing like that. But I said, listen, if a guy served overseas in Qatar, he says that he went and he was the logistics support, so he was supporting Operation Enduring Freedom. Do you believe that he is a combat veteran? He said, without a doubt, 100%.
He's more of a combat veteran than that knucklehead. I can't remember his name. That said he served in Vietnam and
that from Oregon. What the hell's that guy's name?
Yeah,
I know
he didn't go in. He didn't come out of boot camp till after Saigon fell.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's sad, and they're continuing to come after him. I mean, he did hold a press conference, and I'm not quite sure who his press people were, because if he was going to hold a press conference, he should have probably answered questions, because it just left a lot more out there, and so people have more questions. But they're still, today putting up more dirt, and the GOP has pulled $1 million worth of funding.
Well, you know what? They're fucking cowards.
Right.
Is what they are. I'll tell you something. All right. There's what they call the 10th Fleet.
Yeah.
All right, and it's the Navy's drone force. They basically run out of a basement of a building in Fort Meade, Maryland.
Yeah.
Those guys who flew the drones, who never came near the theater operations, were awarded campaign ribbons for that. And in one instance, the admiral who was in charge of them was given the Bronze Star with a V device on it. Now, V is for valor.
Right.
And that created a whole bunch of controversy. And
Right.
they had to change the devices now to C for combat and R for remote.
Oh, really?
Yes, but this admiral, he's one of the woke REMFs that's out there that thinks it's okay to have guys who think they're women serving. He's one of them. He testified, and he got a Bronze Star with a V attachment for working in a basement in Fort Meade.
To me, it's frightening at the lengths that people will go, including Republicans. Although I've been a Republican my whole life until about a year ago, and then I can't. I voted Republican everything, but I can't say I'm a Republican now because of the way the rhinos are acting.
Yes.
So now I just say I'm a conservative. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm not. I can never.
Like Hannity.
No,
Hannity says
I don't like. Yeah, with the whole Dr. Oz thing, I'll never understand. Kathy Barnett was running against Dr. She should have got it, and instead, Dr. Oz may or may. It's weird because Fetterman shouldn't even get anything, but
you got to understand. Like I said, I moved here from Pennsylvania a little over a year ago. Most of my life, I was a closet Republican. I had to be a Democrat because of my union job and all that. Finally, I switched the day after Bush went on the pile in 2001 with the firefighters.
Yeah,
that was that last straw for me, and I went out the next day and changed from being a Reagan Democrat to a Republican.
Yeah,
but I worked in the public school system after being a cop.
Right.
I worked in the public school system. And you have to keep your mouth shut because you're in a blue state, in a blue city, in a blue school district. Everything's, it's so different up there. People like me were not well received up there. That's why I love South Carolina.
So where were you before? Pennsylvania?
Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's right.
The most violent city in the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Per capita.
That's where you were a cop too?
No.
Oh.
I was, the borough of Moton, just outside of Reading.
Gotcha.
But Reading per capita is more violent than Philly, more violent than Pittsburgh. They had 12 shootings in a week and a half.
Jeez.
One of them was an officer-involved shooting. He had to kill a guy who was trying to run over another police officer.
Yeah.
At a Wawa.
That's basically any weekend or any day in America now.
Yeah.
Like
it's nuts.
One of the things we do on our show every week is we do the mass shooting report. So we actually talk about every mass shooting in the United States because mainstream media is so focused, or they're hyper focused on just a small selection of the mass shootings.
The ones that are on
I always
the
say
right side of the spectrum.
The left
side of the spectrum is more violent.
Yeah, I mean, I always say they specifically go after. They just report on certain things. They don't report on all of them. So, and that's kind of the issue.
They're not reporting on this incident in North Dakota.
Well, they are. Yeah.
Finally?
Yeah. Brett Baer yesterday said there was.
Brett Baer, but I'm talking.
Yeah, but didn't you hear what he said?
What?
He said there's no political motivation.
Brett Baer said that.
Yeah. Yep.
But the guy who himself
killed him because he was a Republican extremist. Yep. By his own admission.
By his own admission.
Yeah, and Brett Baer said there's no evidence that man was being truthful when he said it, which is and that's my argument with all media is just fake. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican. It doesn't matter whether it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. It's all fake.
Well,
the
stuff that went on with God, why can't I remember his name? The young man that went out and was protecting the
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I had a brain injury. So
you're fine.
So I sometimes get hard to get words out. Rittenhouse. They were making all sorts of erroneous statements about him being a white supremacist, being all this, and what I really was kind of disappointed when he finally got cleared. he should have taken a page out of Nicholas Sandman's book.
Right.
Shut up and get rich.
Well, I think he is. I think that is what he's doing. He's just not being as public as we'd all love him to be about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not telegraphing everything that they're doing, and rightfully so. But I am guessing that he is going after them financially. Yeah. I thought he just settled with someone as well. One news organization. I thought he had a settlement with it.
I had some thrown out, and it ticked me off because right as soon as he got cleared, he went on back.
Right.
And
he went everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he went everywhere, and I thought, no, you got to keep yourself from becoming a public figure.
Right.
Because the slander and libel laws change.
Right.
It's going to inhibit how much you can collect.
But that's for anything that transpires after. That's not for before. I think I'm not a lawyer, so I.
Well, if he uses the incident to promote himself.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Figure because of it. That's why I wanted him to shut up and get rid.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what do you think about this last question is, what do you think about all the Mar-a-Lago mess and the new rulings and everything that just came out?
Well, you notice who appointed the judges.
Yeah.
Right? The ones that were voting against Trump were not appointed by Trump.
Well, no, that's not true. The appeals ruling yesterday, 2 out of the 3 were appointed by Trump.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So so obviously the federal district judge that granted the special master, she was a Trump appointee. I believe she was a Trump appointee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and the initial one wasn't. He actually recused himself. The one that signed the search warrant, he recused himself from a Trump versus Hillary lawsuit before because he has ties to Epstein and you know that mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Court of Appeals, because now Trump, I believe his legal team can either, and I'm, again, not a lawyer, so I don't know how it works, but I think it was either yesterday or the day before, the Court of Appeals overturned it again. So basically now the DOJ can resume their inspection of the federal paperwork, and the Trump team cannot see it in the special master as well because they deemed some classified, some not. They can't distinguish what's classified or not. So the special master isn't allowed to look at anything with a classified label either, is from what I understood yesterday. So it's kind of interesting the way it keeps turning out, and just like the Attorney General James from New York, and with her going after them for $250 million, they're never ever going to leave the guy alone. Yeah. Which is and that puts all these rallies, and I say it every time, puts that in a perspective, because they would leave him alone if he stopped doing it. If he stopped caring about America, he stopped coming out here and doing this every day, they would leave him alone. But the fact is he cares so much about it that he's just going to keep being out here. But what was the name of your show again?
Blue Collar Conservative. It's on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, pretty much all those conservative social media platforms. Getter, Truth Social. Truth Social. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's on there. My friends refer to me, because I'm always in Hawaiian shirts, my friends refer to me as the Big Kahuna.
I think I've seen it, to be honest. I think one of my viewers I can't see the chat when I'm live out here, but I'm fairly certain that some of the viewers have brought me to your channel before. Because like I said, I own Citizen Stringer, so we're good there. It's still live, so it still picks up your audio. But yeah, I own Citizen Stringer. We have our own streaming network. So we have, you know who Pete Santilli is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on our network. He does 4 hours a day on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does 8 to 10 a.m. and then 6 to 8 p.m. and then I do my show. So do you do your show regularly?
I do it regularly irregular.
Yeah.
I have, because of my commitment, I have commitments with the South Carolina Republican Party.
Yeah.
Commitments with a pantry that feeds homeless vets. Mm-hmm. Called the Sockesty Pantry.
Yeah.
And so I have commitments with them, and then I have a wife who's got health issues that I got to watch over. She's got health issues because of the jab.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. We both got the jab because of we had both had health comorbidities,
right,
and knew 3 people who died of COVID.
Right.
And then after she gets sick, another friend of mine gets sick, and 2 guys I know died from the shot.
Yeah, or from complications to it. We are live on traditional media, so we have to be stupid careful on how we talk about stuff.
About Rona.
Yeah, because otherwise they will nuke our channels and then no one gets to hear what is going on.
But
so, like for us, when we talk about COVID, we don't talk about it. I just say, I don't care if people get vaccinated. I'm not. That's my choice. I don't care if people wear masks. I'm not going to. That's my choice. A lot of people, I think it's so weird because so many people they objectify or they get pissed because other people out there are forcing shots, forcing vaccinations and everything. And then they'll go out and they will, and not saying that this has happened here, but they'll go out and then they'll ridicule people for wearing masks, or they'll ridicule people for getting vaccinated. I've never understood that. You're literally advocating for the freedom to make your own choice while criticizing someone else for making their choice. It's so weird.
Well, the two fellows I know that died, one of them had to get the shot because he was in the National Guard.
Right.
40 years service in the Pennsylvania National Guard.
Oh wow!
And he died from a booster.
Yeah.
Booster caused myocarditis.
Yeah, that's what he died from. That was Jesus.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's the guy who served in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo, Bosnia, Somalia, Desert Storm. 40 years service.
Everybody that I know that's been vaccinated has opted not to get the boost, including people that work for companies that make the vaccinations. And they are just like, nope, I'm not doing it. They got like, even my wife is a teacher. So she was told that if she didn't get vaccinated, then if she got COVID, that those sick days wouldn't be, she would lose money. She wouldn't get, essentially, you know what I mean? And so she ended up choosing to get vaccinated. And plus, she's a liberal,
Oh, you're married a liberal.
I married a liberal, yeah. I fell in love. Isn't it weird how that happens? But yeah, we don't talk politics in my house. We can't really. But I'm every now and then we get a little bit, and I get her to come around and pay attention to certain things. She's very like-minded on crime and stuff like that, and a lot of the conversations revolving around
things that we've gone through in our life. We were August 11th, 2011, we were hit head on by an illegal alien who was DUI. This was on a Sunday morning.
My gosh.
And my wife had to have 2 surgeries to rebuild her arm.
Wow.
And we were very sensitive about a lot of issues,
and rightfully so,
because of personal reasons.
Right. And I think a lot of people are. I think what a big part of America, and it's the silent part. It's not the people that come out to these events. It's not the people that are the loudest or the social media people. But a lot of people are just very, very judgmental now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so they'll target the left for being judgmental, but yet they'll be just as judgmental, if not worse. You know what I mean? It's being hypocritical. Yes. And I say it all the time in my show, and a lot of my viewers get really pissed and that's the thing about the rational American. It's not supposed to, I would say it's a conservative American or something like that. I like to provide rational thought. And a lot of times, like I'll watch the show or I'll say something during the show, and then later on in the show I'll contradict myself because my mind is changing. That's called rational thought. That's what it's about. And a lot of people are just so stuck on believing a certain way that they just can't. Yeah. And I
run into that a lot with people because I do, like I said, I called approximately 18,000 people this year. Yeah. And that's what I try to do with people, rationalize, because there's people who get pissed off that are Republicans that get pissed off at Trump because of January 6th. Yeah. And I try to put things in context with them because there's where is it said that he actually wanted that to happen?
It didn't benefit him at all.
Didn't benefit him at all.
Not at all.
But yet, you had 500 riots over the prior summer.
Yeah. And then the actions on January. In the blue, he's liberal media down there. I heard him just saying, "So what's Blue Lives Matter?" And he's like, "Well, that's not evidenced by January 6th." And I almost turned around because he is. He's just some liberal journalist. I don't know who.
I have a perspective about what happened. First of all, they were saying for a month and a half, they were saying he was killed by blunt force trauma with a fire extinguisher.
Right.
didn't happen.
Right.
He had a pre-existing health problem.
Right.
He shouldn't have even been working.
Right.
Because of the health problem.
Well, all that just transpired this week too in the Senate hearings.
Yeah.
With and they're going back and forth because the Democrat
that got injured.
Right.
They were saying she was stomped on and everything like that.
Roseanne Boyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's video of the protesters actually trying to help her out.
There's video of either a Capitol Police officer or a Metro PD officer beating her with a nightstick. I've seen it myself. Yeah. I actually had the guy that filmed one of those. He did CPR on Roseanne Boyland. He's the streamer that goes by Villain. He actually came in and did an interview with us, and then we had the people from CAP, Citizens Against Political Prosecution, and they were going back and forth about it because he said, he did CPR and he saw signs of an overdose, but at the same time he also said she was definitely getting beaten. Yeah. Everybody saw it. It's on video. You can't even pretend like it's not, which is the most frustrating thing to a lot of people, and that's why so many people are like, well, you know what? We can't believe anything about that day because they're lying about some of it, which is wrong.
In Moody, being a good police officer, then there's people who have what's called rabbis.
Yeah.
Rabbis who are people on the job who are helping guide your career.
Yeah.
Right? Then you have the sycophants, who are the people who are up politicians' asses.
I gotcha.
And then you have the rats.
Yeah.
So what you have here when you take a look at DC Capitol Police is completely different than any other law enforcement agency in the country because everybody's appointed. They get their jobs. There's no civil service.
For DC?
For the Capitol.
For a Capitol Police.
Metro, yeah.
Right.
For Metro, yeah, but not the Capitol. It's all congressional appointment, and they all have their rabbis that are. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had a lieutenant that left his gun and his handcuffs on the top of a urinal. He wouldn't. If that would have happened in NY, he was. So then he turns around. This is the same guy who panicked and shot through a 12x12 window.
Yeah, it's frustrating because so many people. What's going on now with the J6 defendants, the people that are locked up in jail? I have stuff that came.
Enrique,
own confidential federal informant. Yeah. He's been described as the Florida district prosecutor as the guy that
to them as the group actually was
McGinnis as a joke.
Gavin McGinnis started that?
Yeah.
Well, there was a group called Proud Boys in Spanish.
A story of it, but I know he started as a joke, and I just got sunburned on my back.
But look that up. It's called Chico's, and it's.
I'll shoot you an email once I get back next week.
Email, it's easy to remember, thebluecollarconservative@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Well, it was nice meeting you. See ya. All right. That was an interesting call. Interesting conversation. I never did get any water. I'm thirsty as shit. Got cotton mouth like a mofo right now. I'll upload it on Citizen String, or I'll do it tomorrow, so you can watch it, even if it is cutting out. I'm trying to switch my hands because my hands get switch arms. It's pretty wireless except for the microphone.
Thank you.
I like those cars. So you $20 Venmo, thank you, dude. That helps. It's probably gonna cost that just for the water. Gosh. Buy water. Just vote Republican. Melissa Mason. You see if they got water.
Oh yeah. All right, do you work for them?
There was supposed to be another vendor that was coming to sell drinks. He said the other vendors couldn't, but then that guy apparently didn't come. They said no one was prepared. You know.